Here's one. Can I use the wax lube on bearings, derailleur pivot points, brake cables, gear cables and jockey wheels? Yeah, I've heard quite a few, read quite a few comments about using it. Where can I use it on other parts of the bike? Yeah, sure. With regards to your bearings though, usually we're talking about sealed bearings. You would have to take the bearing out, take the seals off both sides, completely clean your bearing race before you put it in your wax, and then once you've done that, put your seals back on. I'm not sure. I haven't really tried it myself, and I haven't heard too much feedback. I haven't even read too much feedback on putting wax inside your sealed bearings. Go ahead and try it if you want. Let us all know. That'd be great. Sealed bearings aren't that expensive to replace if it doesn't work. Interesting. But on derailleur pivot points, yes, absolutely, I would say. Gear and brake cables, well, your gear and brake cables these days, we're talking about nice quality bikes. In fact, even the mid-price ones have all got Teflon impregnated plastic sleeves in them, and they're very slippery anyhow. So I can't really see any point. There's no need to put the wax on there. If you want to, sure, give it a go, but I can't really see if they're already got Teflon in there why you would need to. But anyhow, jockey wheels, sure, yeah, jockey wheels, a sliding part. I've tried that on my mountain bike a long time ago. It seemed to work okay. No advantage really, no disadvantage. So give it a go. But it all adds up. I'll give it a go and let us know how you go with them. I can't read the name. It's in Russian. It looks Russian to me. Wax goes solid minus 15 degrees. And then he goes on to say that, sorry, plus 15 degrees. Cold. So what they're referring to is this goes solid. It hardens up. The xylene one in the bottle hardens up in cold temperatures. And if he's talking about minus 15 degrees, yep, we're going to address that in a minute in the following little bit. But yeah, you can do something about that. MB. Someone says I've been using wax on my chain for years. Great. There you go. It's a long time user of wax, probably before we even started using this wax here. Right, so now we're going to have a look at these two jars here, particularly the liquid, the xylene bottled one. At 10 degrees or less, it tends to go solid. So how can we combat that? How can we get it on a cold chain? How can we get it apply it in the cold weather? So we're going to use these jars. This one here, see the effect. This is our normal wax and paraffin oil that we use in our cooker here to hot wax bath our chain. See if it makes any difference to texture, consistency of that. And the xylene one, we know that starts to solidify at 10 degrees and less. So what I've done is added twice as much xylene as the normal amount that I recommend, and we're going to see the effect on that. So anyway, let's go and see. So the temperature inside here, so it's about minus 16. And there's our jars. That's the mixture, the xylene. So it's still liquid. And that's just our same wax with no xylene. So we'll take them out. Put them over here. Okay, so this is the one with the xylene in. Twice as much xylene. And it's obviously liquid. There's a few bits in there. That's because it probably settled as we had it in there all those hours. Just a few bits on the bottom, you can't see it with the camera. But nothing, a little shake won't help, so that's fine. So in minus temperatures, just add more xylene, twice as much, that'll be fine, that'll be good. Even on a cold chain, it'll help it get in. And of course then the xylene evaporates. Now our normal one, let's have a look, get the knife, do the knife test. Here's some on top, from which I had before. And it's still creamy. It's exactly the same as normal temperature, and the temperature here today is probably about 17. So there you go, smudges. It's just like normal. So temperature does not affect the actual wax mixture that we make. Just need to add more xylene in very cold temperatures. TM asks, paraffin oil, can't find, what can I use? Can I use lamp oil? Kerosene. Oh, yeah, that's another one like xylene. Paraffin oil. Paraffin oil, that's lamp oil there. Paraffin oil, you'll need to do your research again. Where can you buy it? Well, I just go down the hardware store and buy paraffin oil, and they also sell it at the chemist or pharmacist, as you call them in your area, where they sell the drugstore. It's called liquid paraffin there. It's probably more expensive. So paraffin oil or liquid paraffin, try and stick to the name. Where else can we get it? I did have a list here. You can get it from the hardware store, and you can get it from a veterinarian supplies. Veterinarian supplies sell it, obviously for animals, and of course your pharmacist or chemist. So yeah, you have to again do your own homework where you can find paraffin oil. You really need to use paraffin oil. You can't use baby oil. And with mineral oils, so-called mineral oils, well, what's mineral oil? It's a very general term. So you need to suss it out. If you're not sure, try it. Try it out and let us know in the comments. And then next time we do a vlog like this or whatever, we can let everybody know. For instance, baby oil is really, really cheap. You can't use baby oil because it leaves a very oily finish. It spreads thin on your chain, and then it not only gets everywhere all over you like ordinary oil, it also seeps out of the chain, and you'll end up with very little lubricant in between your links anyhow. So the whole idea is to keep the wax in your chain. So use a non-oily oil, even though it's called paraffin oil. When it mixes with the paraffin wax, it actually changes its chemical structure. It becomes one. So it's not a mixture anymore. It becomes a lighter, I think that's what they call it. Chemically, it's lighter. And so at room temperature, it becomes softer. I call it softer because that's basically what it is. And the more you add, the softer it's going to be. Anyhow, it's hardly oily at all. And if anything, it's combined with the paraffin wax, and so it doesn't feel oily. You can put it on your skin and it's not oily. Whereas if you mix a lot of these lamp oils, kerosene, baby oils, whatnot, it becomes oily. It's like separate, and the oil tends to seep in it. So please do your own research with that. I can't help you with a lot of those sort of things, paraffin oil, but if you're not sure, try it out. And if you've got lamp oil and you've tried it out and it's no good, get yourself a lamp in case there's a power strike. Then you've got lamp oil. California, JC says, in this case, it's banned in California. Xylene is banned in California, probably other states as well over there in the US, the United States. Can't help you there apart from the list of replacements. So in order to take your chain off, you're going to need a removable link, and I'm going to go on about it again. Connex make the best removable link, and the reason is they last a long time and they're easy to remove. Now some people say, oh, but Connex links are quite expensive. Well, yes they are, but when they last up to 50,000 kilometers, it's actually cheaper than any other link, especially when some of these links, they say once you take it off you've got to put a new one on. That's silly. These you can use over and over and over and over and over and over. The other thing is, if you buy a new chain, they come with it anyhow. So good excuse to try Connex chains as well, which are actually pretty much the best chains out there as well. Maybe not the lightest, but extremely strong and reliable. So a removable link, easy to undo, put your chain in the wax and then put it back on when you're ready to go. So removable link you must have. Someone says from Japan here, very cold. I bought my winter kit, but winter is very unforgiving, cloudy. Yeah, reminds me of that Russian -15, if we meant -15. Japan also very cold, but good on you if you can ride. And this one, can I make wax grease? Well, I had a go at making, I wouldn't call it grease. Basically, it's just the wax formula we normally use for our hot bath and just added more paraffin oil, and it's softer, but I wouldn't call it grease. It doesn't spread like grease. Can you use it in your bearings? Well, you can give it a go. I can't see much great advantage at this stage. Whether it's any good or not, or replace grease better than grease, I don't know. Give it a go if you want to. Let us know. But you can just basically, it's really soft wax. Well, just before we go, I've just read that Shimano now make a removable link for their 11-speed series chains, which is good. But if I read correctly, it says that that link has to be replaced every time you use it. Is that right? Because that's crazy. That means every time you want to put your chain on and off, it's going to cost you $11 to put a new link on. Well, even more reason to just stick to a Connex link. Well, that about wraps it up. There are heaps and heaps of different questions that you asked about waxing your chain. I'll try and get back to answering them all if I can. But those in the videos that we just watched, episode 1 and 2 here, were the most commonly asked questions. So hopefully they were very helpful for you. Okay. Well, continue waxing your chain because it's still the best way to go, and we'll see you in the future. Might even see you on your bike. Cheers for now.